Hello there, people of the internet. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. You'll have to forgive the bird noise. We are outside in Florida on a hot summer day, so you're going to hear some birds. That's just the way that it is. Thank you. I appreciate that. Whenever I start firing, they're probably going to shut the hell up. Let me go ahead and test that feature real quick. Kevin might not shut the hell up. Well, he didn't shut up, but it sounds like he flew over there. Okay, that's good enough for me. Hello there, people of the internet. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing alright. Thanks for asking. Ah, crap, he's back. Shut the hell up, you son of a bitch. This whole episode is going to be me yelling at a bird. Alright, well, I got myself a new tool in my inventory. I wanted a 30-06, wasn't really sure what I wanted, so I just kind of like kept my eyes open, kept feeling around. I ended up picking myself up a Sporterized US 1917 Enfield. Now these rifles, along with the 1903, are what the United States military used during the First World War. I'm fairly certain that due to the serial number, this one was used in that conflict. However, in World War II, they rebarreled these rifles and also, decided to put them in use, but they, for the most part, stuck with the 03 and 06. The rifle I have here, although Sporterized, is one of the rebarreled versions for the Second World War. I know that because the barrel has 2 rifling notches in it versus the originals. Or rifling grooves, I say rifling notches. And whenever they were rebarreled for the Second World War, they were rebarreled with barrels that had either 5 grooves or 2. The one that I have is rebarreled for 2. Now, since it is Sporterized, I'm not all that happy about it, but I got it at a price point that would make me not complain at all, ever. And it's a pretty nice gun. Now, some of you are going to cringe at this. You probably already saw it whenever I fired. But I have a front sight on this thing, however the rear sight was taken off. There are areas where I could screw on a scope mount, however I enjoy using stripper clips, so on this particular rifle I'm not going to throw a scope mount on it. I am going to have a more appropriate sight stuck on it. I'm actually working on fabricating one right now, but that's going to take a little while. So for right now, don't freak out, I know it's ugly. According to my calculations, the sight that I have manufactured for it should be zeroed out to about 100 yards. Hopefully. Kevin! Thank you, Kevin! Kevin says hello. Anyone who does not know who Kevin is, he's my peacock. I have 5 of them. They're very noisy. Alright, now, the sights on this gun are pretty much just a screw, a flathead with some spacers in it. And I angled the flathead to be, well, you can look through the groove where the screwdriver goes in, the groove of the flathead to your front sight, and I get a pretty decent sight picture. But man, is it butt ugly. Here y'all go. There she is. That's my rear sight right there. Not very pretty if you ask me, but I'm working on something that'll, look a little better. I'm actually going to use an old Mauser sight, and you'll see. I'll make a video on what I'm doing with that. Now, other than the horrendous sight on there, they actually have some pretty immaculate engraving on the barrel here. This right here was a very nice Sporterization. They definitely did a pretty excellent job with it. This is very sturdy. I know some Sporterized guns, they're not very good, but this one seems okay. There's a little bit of rust on it. I'll have to go through and oil the thing, but who knows how long this thing sat in Grandpa's closet. Now, if you guys have any requests for what you want me to use this 30-06 for, I'm all ears. However, now that I have a 30-06, I can remake. A while back I made a video called like 8mm Mauser versus 30-06. And a lot of people weren't pleased with it. I could understand it was an informal test. All I did was walk around and shoot stuff and, record the results with both a 8mm Mauser and a 30-06 rifle, but I was running the Enfield stock, and I was running and I was running a Savage Axis 30-06 with a polymer stock and different barrel lengths, and people were like, ah, what are you doing? Of course the 30-06 is going to have more recoil because there's a polymer stock. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. Thanks for telling me that, but that's something I already knew. Then I had some people that were upset that I was comparing a 30-06 to an 8mm, and they were like, ah, you can't do that. And I'm like, the hell I can't. I currently am. People don't view it as an accurate representation of comparison unless the bullets have as similar of ballistics as possible. But if you go and do that, then you're no longer running, you know, stock 30-06 to stock 8mm. If I start, you know, loading up 180 grain 30-06 and compare them to 180 grain 8mm, that's not what was being used during the Second World War. That's not what was militarily accepted. Those are just two custom loads fired out of different caliber rifles that are going to have pretty damn similar ballistics. The point of comparing two things is not to make the two things as similar as possible. The point of comparing two things is to see how different they are. And that's what a lot of people don't really understand. So I'm going to run through that test again. Hopefully it's going to be as popular as last one, because I've got like, I don't know, 3,000 views on that video versus my like 50 on my normal videos. So fingers crossed that, you know, fingers crossed that that gets as popular as this one is. Now, I can't come out here and show off my new 30-06. I say new, but she's quite old, quite a deal older than I am. I can't come out here and show off my 30-06 without at least lobbing some lead down range. Now, full disclosure, I know I said I enjoy using stripper clips. However, the stripper clip that I have for this thing, the spring in it, not great. So I actually JB welded the spring to the actual clip itself because the spring kept like falling out because it had just lost so much spring tension. So JB weld, it ain't coming off now. But I also have a lot of custom 30-06 ammunition. I got a bunch of tracer rounds. I got a, thank you, Kevin. I got a bunch of tracer rounds, I got a bunch of armor piercing ammunition, I got some incendiary ammunition. I'm going to go ahead and load this round up with only 4 rounds because I used one to try and scare birds away. But I got a whole slew of ammunition to be fired out of this thing. These old Enfield rifles, they're known for having extremely strong actions, and their actions are pristinely buttery smooth. Like, smooth enough to be a sexual innuendo. I was going to make a really dirty joke here, but I'm going to go ahead and not do that. Keep this a little family friendly at least. Oh, that was nice. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to go set up my second camera. So, let me go ahead and throw the safety on this thing. The safety is right here on the side of the rifle. I'm going to walk down there and set that up. Alright, sounds like our old friend the bird is back. He'll probably shut up here in a second. Fingers crossed, hopefully my camera on my phone is working well enough for me to record and throw it up on the screen. My phone's kind of iffy, but I am working on getting a second camera, so that'll make things a lot easier. Let's go ahead and lob some lead down range. I'm going for the target first. Is that the bird? Hi, bird. Get out of here, you. Yeah, I'd say this site is pretty spot on. I had no problems hitting those targets. One of them I did pull, but that was my fault. Now, originally the United States was making these rifles for the British, and during World War I they decided to themselves, hey, you know, we need more guns, and we already have this tooling set up for these rifles. Why don't we make a couple million of them and send them to the frontline troops? And so that's what they did. They rechambered them for 30-06 and sent them on their way. In World War II, they had a bunch of these just laying in their warehouse, and they were like, hey, we need rifles, and these served us pretty good in the First World War. Let's go ahead and box these up and send them to the front lines. I can't wait to do some rifle running with this thing. The action is just so buttery smooth. I can run my Kar 98 real fast, but my Kar 98 can be kind of sticky sometimes. She has definitely seen better days. But this one, oh, that's so nice. Don't make it weird, guys. Don't make it weird. Alright, now the 30-06 ammo that I'm running today is a little more on the expensive side, so I'm going to go ahead and, you know, only run through those 10 rounds. That's all the ammunition I brought out with me. That's all the ammunition I'm going to run for right now. Most of the ammo I have is the custom stuff. It's the tracers and the armor piercing and things like that. I think that's going to make some really interesting tests. We can compare soft tip to full metal jacket to tracer to armor piercing, see how well it penetrates, you know, specific things. I definitely have enough ammunition to be able to run tests like that. However, I am going to be doing some rifle running with this thing. Of course, I've got to. With how smooth that action is after my stripper clips come in, you better expect me to do some course running with it. I'm also going to get some cheaper ammunition that'll run through this thing just so I don't break my bank. The only bad part about 30-06 is it can be kind of expensive compared to some of the other things out there. Like the 7.62 by 54 rimmed, I know it's a hell of a lot more expensive than it used to be, but it's still a hell of a lot cheaper than some of the other stuff out there. Alright, well, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, go ahead, subscribe down below. If you like the video, do me a huge solid and like the actual video. YouTube's being very anti-gun right now, so likes and subscribes and shares are all I have to spread the name of my channel. Speaking of YouTube's anti-gun policies, check out the description down below. You're going to find a link to my second channel. Nothing really going on there. I just get drunk and play video games, but it is a lot of fun. And it's something I do anyway, so that's my fallback plan. If something happens to this channel, if you want to support this channel, you're definitely going to help out by subscribing to that one. Check out the Patreon page. I do Q&As on the Patreon page. Lots of interesting stuff going on there. I am a little disheartened with Patreon though. They're doing some stuff. It's saddening. I had a really good time. I'm glad to see that these sights right here are pretty much spot on. I had no trouble hitting what I was aiming at, so thumbs up for me. Whenever I get this refurbished Mausers sight on this thing, I think it's gonna like really help the aesthetics, because right now I just kind of like measured out the angle and trajectory and yada yada yada. It was not hard to do for 100 yards. Like 2,000 yards, I could foresee that being a little difficult, but specifications didn't have to be exact. Other than that, I just kind of threw a bunch of spacers under that screw and kept it at the appropriate height that it's supposed to be at for the distance at 100 yards. Okay, well, I think I have earned some breakfast. God damn it, I'm hungry. I am working on losing some weight. I've gained a little bit of heft during my winter endeavors, but hey, summertime is literally here, and there is no better time to sweat out weight than summertime in Florida. So I'm gonna do that and work on tan. Grab some breakfast, not too much breakfast though. God, I hate doing this, but it's what I do. I've also been rifle running more. That's my main source of cardio exercise. That stuff is hard, especially if you're running with a bolt-action rifle, which is what I normally do. Normally, if I'm running with like a semi-automatic, the ammo is cheaper, but man, you burn through so much more in such a short time. And running with a bolt-action is much more fun. Anyway, breakfast time for me. You guys go off. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Check out Patreon. Check out the second YouTube channel. If you have any additional ideas that you want me to go ahead and explore, let me know in the comments down below. I have a 30-06, 303, 8mm. I got the 7.62 by 54 rimmed. I got the 7.5 Swiss, 6.5 Carcano, 6.5 Jap, 223, 7.62 by 39. I think that's all my, you know, rifle calibers. I might be missing something though. So if you want to see something, just let me know and I'll see what I can throw together. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a fantastic day. I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.